Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to round 18 of the SFL Premier League women's season, where Clarence are facing Glenorchy. Clarence, of course, heading into this contest first. Glenorchy are fourth. Last time these two teams met, Clarence 114 defeated Glenorchy 0. We're going with Reed in the ruck, and Glenorchy able to get the first clearance out of the centre. Adam Webster with you this afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us here on YouTube for round 18 of the season, as Whitehead is wrapped up in a strong tackle. Spills in the direction of Toto. She's wrapped up, and that will be holding the ball. Clarence with an opportunity to move the ball forward early in this contest. Up the wing here at Ninja Stadium, through the hands of Mead. Falls to the back of the pack, where Fine is waiting. Fine tries to centre the ball, and it goes so far as Whitehead. Whitehead further afield to the wing. Nice kick and a good mark there by Reed. Some good ball movement here by Clarence. That was a nice spoil in by Stevanovic. Ball bobbled through, but can't quite pick it up there, Webster. To the back of the pack. And Glenorchy into the centre of the ground through Solosky. Inside 50 for Glenorchy. Forwards overrun it. Harper trying to clean up. Solosky is there. Harper with another effort. Stands up in a tackle and gets a handball out the back of the pack. Follows up again, Solosky. Another handball forward, only so far as Burns. Burns tries to get it on to Appleby. Clarence come away with it again to centre wing. This time it's Murgatroyd. Murgatroyd with 18 goals this season sends Clarence deep inside 50. Wickham is there. Wickham follows it up. Wickham with a little scrubbing ball goes through the legs of Limbrick. And if Brick had let that go, that may have been a goal. Appealed that it might have touched her on the ankle instead, so it could have been a goal. The goal umpire said absolutely not. That is one behind, and the first score of this contest is Bird clears Glenorchy from outside 50. Handball on here to Barwick, combining with Cannell. Cannell able to recover nicely. Kick it into centre wing. Glenorchy with another opportunity, but the ball's chopped off here. Well done by Wagner. And Archer. Barwick is wrapped up for another ball up for Clarence. Tap over the top to Barwick. Wrapped up. Secondary stoppage. First use there to Glenorchy. Opportunity for Archer. Archer finds Wickham. Wickham gets it in to Reed. Reed right on painted 50. A drop punt into the pocket. A nice mark taken here by Wickham. Approach from Wickham. Drop punt on the way across the face. And one behind. So a couple of minors to Clarence to start this game. Rookie go again. Stevanovic. Outside 50, strong marking contest from both players. Doing well there was Oates, who followed up her work with the tackle. Oates goes again. It's Booth with the second and third efforts to try and get first use of the ball. Good tackle applied by Preshaw. And now Clarence come away with it once again. Skittles past Wickham. Glenorchy are given a chance to clear, but only so far as two Clarence players. The mark is taken, and quickly Whitehead is used. Now Archer going inside 50. Marking contest broken up. Opportunity there for Toto. Handball over the top, Edmund. And now Reed. On hands and knees there was Cannell. And Barwick gets it in the Toto direction. Going in hard was Limbrick. Out to Reed. Reed strolls in and kicks the first goal for Clarence. Ava Reed opens the account for the Roos. Nice handball out of the pack there from Limbrick, and Reed made no mistake, strolling into about 15 metres out from goal. So Clarence with first blood, leading by 8 points in this contest. Mead, not guarded in the ruck. Instead, Reed sits down and waits for the ball to come to her. It does eventually. It falls to Webster. Webster's tackled but manages to get it away. Here's Reed, the goal kicker again. Squirts it out towards Webster. Now it goes to the back of the pack where Barwick is waiting. Barwick with a clearing kick just past the centre of the ground. Sokolski following up that work. In the direction here of Mead. Mead turns it over. Clark has it on the outside. Now here's Pacey. Pacey with a handball back to Clark. Handball over the top, but cut off here by Glenorchy, who go inside 50. Marking contest can't be won by Appleby. It falls to the back of the pack. Here's Edmonds. Edmonds to Hardy. Hardy is tackled and gone. So Glenorchy with a chance to put themselves in a scoring position. Just popped up inside 50. And a nice mark taken by Ivory. It was actually Sophie Mead. Mead putting it into a hot spot. Ends up falling in the direction of Toto, who is tackled. Tap down in the Toto direction. Instead, Reed follows it up. Reed with a territory gaining ball that gives her team the first use, heading into 50. Clarence with another opportunity. Here's Edmund, but Edmund is tackled. Tackled really well by Sokolski. He's had some good moments at the start of this contest. Sorry, it was Bird. So Bird earns the free kick. Bird to the wing. A high one, falls to the back of the pack. And here's Reed taking a mark. Short ball in. Doesn't quite hit a target. Tackle is applied. But illegally. So an opportunity here for Anderson. Anderson pops it over the top, right to the edge of the square. Pre-Shaw feeds Pacey. Inside 50. Opportunity here for Clarence. And they kick another goal. Maisie Clark finishing inside 50 and kicking Clarence's second goal of this first term. So Clarence 2-2-14, Glenorchy yet to score. Start again with Mead in the ruck against Reed. Bursting through the pack was Barwick. She was held without it, so will earn herself the free kick. Brianna Barwick Now Glenorchy going inside 50. Appleby can't quite win the contest, and Edmonds is able to clear to the wing where Limbrick is waiting. Limbrick just pops it over the top with a drop punt just over the outstretched hand of Reed. Reed follows up her work and tackles fine, but does so illegally. So a free kick to fine. Puts it out of bounds on the full in search of Barwick. So Murgatroyd kicks it to 50. Going back there is Anderson. Anderson popping it over the top. And a nice diving mark taken inside 50. Clarence with an opportunity to kick their third goal. This time through Ivory. He puts it straight through. Charlotte Ivory kicks the third goal of the term for Clarence. 3-2-20, Glenorchy yet to score. We're over the halfway mark of this first quarter. Mead versus Robertson in the ruck. This time coming away with it is Wickham. Inside 50 in the direction of Reed. Reed runs onto it. Reed runs her full measure and from the boundary hits the post. Would have been one for the highlight reel from Ava Reed. Glenorchy, an opportunity to move it outside 50. Only so far as Oates, who did well in the air, but there are numbers with Glenorchy. Tackle applied by Booth, and wrapped up just outside 50 for the Roos. Testing the ruck is Robertson. Falls to the back of the pack where Toto is waiting. Toto to Schultz. Schultz with a long kick into the middle of the ground. Mopping that up, though, is Ball. Ball streaks through the middle of the ground. Ball falls to Ivory, who kicked the last goal. Searching for Reed, can't find her. Ivory again with quick hands, but it's cleared by Barwick, who's been brave for Glenorchy so far, despite the heavy scoring barrage already. Handball out from Sokolski. A clearing kick, but only so far as Wagner. Wagner feeds Robertson. A don't argue proved effective. Moves across to Webster. Webster inside 50 in the Reed direction. Follows up her work. A centering ball by Reed, and it's marked by Limbrick. A strong mark taken. See where she's marked. And it will come around to be from the top of the square, straight in front. And Clarence an opportunity to kick their fourth through Limbrick, and she makes no mistake. Cinta Limbrick, after her earlier miss, kicks a goal. Clarence now out to a 27-point lead. Glenorchy with a couple of opportunities inside 50, but no real deep entries. They've all been around the 25 metres out mark. Clearance here for Schultz. Falls to Mead. Mead is tackled and dispossessed. Following up is Barwick. Oates applies the tackle there. Back out to Schultz, who goes inside 50. Archer following that one up for Clarence. Also Kay for Glenorchy. Tackle applied to Ball, and she's gone. Well done there to Chappell. Chappell about 40 metres out. Will pop it to the top of the square and search for and find Kay, who takes a beautiful mark. So Matilda Kay goes back a long way. Have a long run up. Will be about 15 metres out directly in front. Maybe 20. Connects. Good drop punt. Just fading to the left. The first score for Glenorchy from Matilda Kay. Promising signs as Clarence get it started again quickly. There's Ball with a nice kick into the centre of the ground. All goes through the hands of Edmund. He's fine. Following up her own work. Spilling to Preshaw. And now Ivory applying the tackle. Over in the direction Yaron. Now it's Edmund. Tumbling ball. Bird hits the deck hard and there's a one behind. Last 2 minutes of this first quarter. A 27-point lead to Clarence. Glenorchy scoring just the one behind thus far. Clearing kick. Well outside 50, but cleaned up here by Pacey. Tackle applied. And a ball up. About 55 metres out from the Clarence goal. Robertson to contest. Schultz in there as well. Barwick. Providing good effort. Mead taps it down. Barwick controls it. Is tackled really well by Preshaw. Glenorchy gained the clearance into the centre of the ground. Toto's there. And tackle is applied. Tap over by Fine. Couldn't be controlled by Toto. A really nice pick up there by Edmund. Hits Preshaw on the run. But it's cut off. Glenorchy, 20 seconds left in this first term. A chance to ensure there is no further score. Centering ball. Too hot for Booth. Barwick tackled. Strong tackle by Whitehead. And that'll be the first term. Schultz. And now Wagner. Wagner breaks 2 tackles. Running onto that one was Pacey. Now coming in the direction of Whitehead. Here goes Booth. Sending Glenorchy towards the 50-metre line. Cleaned up nicely there by Appleby with a centering ball. But chopped off completely there. Wagner clears. A really nice strong mark there to Murgatroyd. Murgatroyd, though, the kick could have been slightly better. It put Edmund under a great deal of pressure. Instead, Cannell comes away with it. There's been a free kick plucked out, though. Downfield. After the ball was released, so be taken about 70 metres out from goal. Clarence able to clean up through Edmonds. Tackle applied, though. Be a ball up. It was Hardy in there. Edmonds. A sneaky block as Booth picks it up. Centering ball from Glenorchy. trying to find a target and does. Is Mead. Mead looking for a teammate short. Chopped off by the Roos. As we've seen time and time again in this contest. Murgatroyd has it at centre-half back. And there's the siren. So a 27-point lead to Clarence. Goal kickers Limbrick, Reid, Clark and Ivory. Glenorchy with just the one behind to Matilda Kay. Take a brief break and back with you with the second quarter of this round 18 SFL Premier League Women's competition game between Clarence and Glenorchy. Clarence lead it by 27 points. There was Cannell, and Barwick gets it in the Toto direction. Going in hard was Limbrick. Out to Reid. Reid strolls in and kicks the first goal for Clarence. Hop right to the edge of the square. Preshaw feeds Pacey. Inside 50. Opportunity here for Clarence. And they kick another goal. Third goal. This time through Ivory. He puts it straight through. The top of the square, straight in front. And Clarence an opportunity to kick their fourth through Limbrick, and she makes no mistake. Into Limbrick. Welcome back to the second quarter of this round 18 SFL Premier League women's game between Clarence and Glenorchy, where Clarence hold a 27-point lead. We get started in the middle of Ninja Stadium with the second quarter. Adam Webster with you this afternoon. Thanks so much for being a part of the coverage for the SFL Premier League women's competition. It's Reed and Mead. Reed and Appleby there in the middle. It's Cannell. It's out to Barwick. Barwick squirts it out. Booth tries to recover it and applies a strong tackle. Well done to Michaela Booth. Forces the stoppage in just on the wing there here at Ninja Stadium. Booth again in there, tackling Pacey. Hands and knees. Webster getting it out to Oates. Oates tackled by Appleby. Spills toward Booth. Now back out to Oates with a high up and under ball to a contest. Spinning at the back of the pack. Murgatroyd is there. And here's Preshaw. Preshaw to Oates. Oates inside 50 for Clarence. Tapping it down there was Yarran in the direction of Bird. Tackle applied by Murgatroyd. Now it spills to Wickham. Wickham there to Preshaw. Preshaw right to the teeth of goal, but a mark taken and Glenorchy will clear. A long ball to the wing where Barwick awaits. Barwick in a foot race and just a push square in the back there by Whitehead. And Barwick will have an opportunity to take her free kick. Barwick with a little chipping ball towards Appleby. Gets it over to Yarran. And now Fine, but only so far as Hardy. Hardy out to Oates. Oates battling with Booth. Does that well. Clears and off goes Preshaw. Preshaw draws the defender and gets it to Anderson. Anderson kicking it inside 50. Contest developing. Wickham is equal to the task. Gets it along the boundary line towards Limbrick, who sees it over the line, and there'll be a boundary throw-in. Forward pocket boundary throw-in for Clarence. Tap over the back there by Murgatroyd. And almost seeing it over the line was Toto, able to save it, but ball was smothered. Wickham taps it out the back of the pack. Falls just short of the boundary line. Toto able to save it. He's around on the right boot. To about 40 metres out. Barwick is there as some helpers, but it does fall in the direction of Pacey. Now it's out to Schultz. Stevanovic is there too. On hands and knees is Wickham, who snaps and misses. Second behind of the contest, Caitlin Wickham. A 28-point lead now to the Roos. Opportunity for Bird. But that kick just falls slightly short and into the hands of Anderson. Anderson with a chipping ball, trying to find Pacey, cannot do so. Glenorchy aim to clear it again. Only so far as Hardy. Hardy into the teeth of goal, but Preshaw couldn't quite get her hands on that one. Nice contest developing, but Bird is equal to the task. Sees it over the line for a rushed behind. So Bird given some space but chose not to use it. Ball goes through Appleby's hands. Receiving the handball is Oates. Oates streaking through the middle of the ground and kicking a goal. Brianna Oates. Finishes that well. Came streaming through. Took 3 steps and then kicked a drop punt and was able to kick that right over the outstretched arms of Toto. And that is the 5th goal for Clarence in this contest. We approach the 5-minute mark of this second term. Appleby versus Mead. Appleby wins. Barwick. Now getting through there is Hoykar. Leaker. The back of the pack towards Fine. Fine fighting for it with a snap and a behind. That was better from Glenorchy. Second behind of the contest. Clarence with a chance to clear. Uses the space, but just pops it up in the direction of Webster, and Webster takes an easy mark just inside the defensive 50. A nice kick and a good mark by Limbrick. Limbrick switches over to the other side of the ground. Here's Oates, the goal kicker. Watch Booth go, almost caught her. Preshaw tracking it down. Here's Booth. Also tracing that one is Bird. Bird applies the tackle, and there'll be a free kick. Bird kicks it to the wing, but only so far as Oates. Oates kicks it inside 50. Taking the mark there is Wickham. I think that'll be a 50-metre penalty. The stand rule not adhered to. Therefore, Caitlin Wickham has a chance. Clarence further ahead in this contest. And will take the kick from the top of the square. And make no mistake. So Wickham goals, 40-point margin to Clarence. 7 minutes into this second term. Secondary stoppage here in the middle. We get going again, a 40-point margin. Appleby with a decisive tap down, but only so far as Anderson, who releases Oates, who goes inside 50. Marking contest is a draw. Preshaw on hands and knees, follows up that work, tackle applied, and a ball up inside 50 for the Roos. Nice tap down there by Murgatroyd. Webster applies the Shepherd, but ball spills out of bounds. Be a throw in. Right on 50 for Clarence. Appleby and Reed fighting for it. Reed taps it front and centre. But Barwick is there, as she's been all game long, to apply that tackle. With another tap down. Now here's Anderson. Anderson goes over the line and another stoppage. Just slow to touch here. You've been able to force repeat stoppages, but it's not going past halfway for them. Appleby versus Reed. Appleby taps down to Barwick. Off the ground, further afield, up the wing. Well done there by Hardy. Just couldn't keep her feet. Instead, it falls to Barwick. Barwick with a long kick inside 50. Front and centre there was Mead. Instead, it falls in the direction of Wagner. Wagner hits Hardy, and Hardy clears to the wing where Reed is waiting. And there's another violation of the stand rule, this time by Booth. It just gives Reid an opportunity to drive Clarence right to the precipice of goal. Reid decides to have a ping. Goes to the top of the square, and a mark is taken. And it's Caitlin Wickham for her second. She kicks it. Second of the quarter for Wickham. 46-point lead now to the Roos as we're past the halfway mark of this second term. Clarence in full control of this contest, and Glenorchy, every time they get themselves inside 50, Clarence bring it back with some interest. Appleby, strong punch to Barwick, and here goes Barwick, straight out of the centre. 2 bounces inside 50, steadies, kicks the goal. That's the way that you respond. Brianna Barwick. With one of the best goals that you'll see today in any competition in Tasmania. A great tap from Appleby. And then Brianna Barwick just did the rest. 2 bounces, ran her full measure and finished. Great goal. See if they could do that again. Instead, tap is won by Clarence. Falls, Webster applies a tackle right in there and secondary stoppage. Appleby taps it forward, direction of Booth and Oates. Ball falls to Pacey. Oates and Appleby fighting for it. Oates wins it. And ball out, but there's another tackle applied immediately. Up in the air. Barwick and Oates in there as well. Here's Preshaw. Over to Robertson. And now back to Oates. Oates the handball out to Pacey. Pacey turns one way, then the other. Pacey finding Whitehead. Whitehead just beyond 50. Manages to get it to Murgatroyd. Murgatroyd to a dangerous position. Into Reid. Reid tackled immediately. Appeals for the free kick, but instead the umpire says, nope, have a stoppage. See how you go with this. Reid taps it down to herself. Handball out the back of the pack to Ivory. Ivory off the ground and a behind. Charlotte Ivory kicked 1 in the first term. That's 1 goal 1. Caitlin Wickham leads all scorers with 2 goals 2 in this contest. Opportunity for Glenorchy to clear it outside 50 after that behind. Only so far as Webster. Webster follows up that work and a strong tackle applied by Schultz. That's too strong. And Webster instead drops it right in, just a little bit short for Limbrick. Limbrick follows that up. Yarran, hands and knees, and another stoppage in a dangerous spot for Clarence. Mead taps it down over the hand of Reid. Falls in the Harper direction. Harper fighting with Burns. It's a 2-on-1. Robertson over to Oates. Oates close to goal, but a good mark by Yarran to cut that off. Yarran looking for an option. Chooses to go close to the boundary line. The Booth direction. Can't quite take that mark. She's pulled up a little bit sore from that contest. Be a ball up. Tap down by Mead. Squirts forward. Reed getting onto it. Snapping. Missing. .42 margin to the good of Clarence. Less than 5 minutes to go in this first half. It has been one-sided, but it has been entertaining, particularly with that lone Glenorchy goal from Brianna Barwick. Really strong mark. Yeah. As Clarence go back inside, 50. Lumbrick can't quite control that one. Tackle applied by Reed and have another ball up. Limbrick follows that up, snaps around the corner. Only so far as Topea Muhu. Now Oates in foot race with Booth. Booth's been very, very quick in this contest. And look at the speed, the closing speed on Preshaw. Forces that stoppage. Kayla Booth will not be denied. Ball in. Robinson. Back of the pack. Glenorchy clear. Oh. Lucky that's not a free kick to the Magpies. Fairly reckless. It goes inside 50 for Glenorchy. Opportunity here for Clarence. As it heads to this near wing. Here's Clark. Switching right to the middle of the ground where Preshaw is ready and waiting. Clark is free on this near side. Preshaw wasn't looking in that direction. Instead heads to the 50. Goes through the legs of the Glenorchy defender. Instead, they're able to clear. 2-on-1 though. Good mark taken by Harper. Harper to the outer side. Now through Hardy. Just goes directly in the direction of Booth. Booth with a chipping ball into the centre of the ground. Smother applied. Fighting for it here is Archer. And there's been legged is Webster. Gemma Webster with a chance. Goes straight up the middle of the ground and does so directly to Pacey. Alika applying some pressure. Back to Webster. We wanted her to use that. High up and under drop punt. Challenged by Ivory. Falls to the back of the pack. Glenorchy with another chance, but only so far as the Clarence defence, who have really stood up. Webster skittles past her. And Glenorchy with another chance. Here's Halika. Goes inside 50. One-on-one contest, but good positioning and good work there from Edmonds. Using her teammate in Hardy. Takes a bounce. And another one. Leaves that one behind, though, which puts her in a bit of strife against Appleby. Great tackle applied. Umpire says play on. Spills to the back of the pack where Edmonds is waiting. Couple of bites at the cherry. Back to Edmonds. Tackle applied. A stoppage. It's a little bit better from Glenorchy. Oates. Right across the boundary line. Well to keep that one in. Following up that work is Wickham. Now an opportunity for Clarence to centre that ball straight into the hands of Clark. Clark fumbles but is able to recover. Clark inside 50. Ball gets on the hop. And Glenorchy just run down. Great tackle on Cannell from Reed. Cannell staying down, he's hurt. Reed just runs around the defender But the umpire's going to call them back and say that Reid did not start behind the mark. Or is there a free kick that's been paid here? After effects of that contest. Here's Chappell. Off to Anderson. Anderson inside 50. And picked out Wickham really nicely, who has 2 goals and the opportunity for a third in this first half. As the siren goes for half-time, Caitlin Wickham, she'll kick this, take her best. It'll be about 35 metres out, directly in front. Look at the ball drop. It's pretty good, but it's high up and under. And it's missed to the right. So Wickham with 2 goals, 3. A margin of 43 points at half-time. Clarence 7-9-51. Glenorchy 1-2-8. Wickham with 2 goals. Ivory with 1. Clark, Reid, Limbrick and Oates also with singles. For Glenorchy, that one fantastic highlight for them, which we'll look at over the course of half-time. Brianna Barwick with their single goal off a beautiful tap down from Zara Appleby directly to Barwick, who took 2 bounces, ran a full measure, steadied, and goaled in one of the goals of the day. Adam Webster with you as we enter half-time. I'll be back with you after the main break for the second half of this round 18 SFL Premier League women's game between Clarence and Glenorchy. So Bird given some space but chose not to use it. Ball goes through Appleby's hands. Receiving the handball is Oates. Oates streaking through the middle of the ground and kicking a goal. Brianna Oates in this contest. And will take the kick from the top of the square. And make no mistake. And it's Caitlin Wickham for her second. She kicks it. Appleby, strong punch to Barwick. And here goes Barwick. Straight out of the centre. 2 bounces inside 50. Steadies. Kicks the goal.
Wherever cancer is, we are. We are the supporters, preventers, researchers and advocates, leading Australia to a future without cancer. Every day, we're finding new and better ways to offer services, share knowledge, and bring hope to Australians everywhere, because cancer affects us all. We're here to listen and care for people, however they need us, whenever they need us, through any type of cancer, at any stage of the journey. Every day, we are supporting world-class researchers, empowering them to dream big and make the impossible possible. Together, we're pushing boundaries, unlocking the answers to understand, prevent and treat cancer. We're improving the lives of those living with it and even getting close to eliminating some cancers altogether. You may not see us, but we're here, in schools and people's homes, on the beach, at work and on the streets, helping millions of Australians cut their risk and detect cancer sooner. We know that 1 in 3 cancers can be avoided, so we're out there preventing as many as we can. You may not hear us, but our voice is loud. Every day, we're using it to advocate, change laws and drive policies, to reduce cancer risks and improve cancer care, to break ground and speak for the community in places where they're not always heard. Every day, we're closer to a future without cancer. And as a charity, we rely on Australia's biggest hearts to help us get there faster.
Blunston's been building hard-working boots for over 150 years. The tougher you need them, the tougher we build them. Giving you advanced protection and all-day comfort. After all, you never stand still, so neither do we. Blunston. Building the future.
Oh, you mean the jam and cream? Good stuff.
Go! And one for you as well. Got it.
original glazed. Classic.
At Banjo's, we speak donuts. Introducing our new range of flavours. Now there's one for everyone. Banjo's, making donuts better.
Welcome back to round 18 of the SFL Premier League women's season, where first place Clarence are leading fourth place Glenorchy by 43 points at the main break, 7-9-51 to 1-2-8. Last time these teams met, Clarence were 114. They defeated Glenorchy, who did not score in that contest. In round 6, it was 92-8 in favour of Clarence. We get started again. A decisive tap from Reed, who follows up her work and does brilliantly, driving Clarence inside 50. Through the hands there of Wickham, who kicked 2 goals in the first half. 2 goals, 3 in fact. There'll be a stoppage. Murgatroyd taking the ruck contest inside 50 for Clarence. Gets a tap, but only so far as Cannell. Cannell over in the direction of Chappell. Secondary stoppage. Murgatroyd another tap. Barwick. And now Reed. Reed goes around a defender. Steadies. And goals. What a start from Clarence in this second half. Ava Reed. But another tap. See here, just took on 2 defenders. Slipped between the 2 of them, steadied and finished extremely well. He's played a great game so far, Ava Reed. Clarence opened their account, stretch it to a 49-point lead. Reed in the ruck again. Taps it basically to herself again. From inside the centre square. Picks out Wickham. Wickham following it up. Off the ground. Goal touched. Caitlin Wickham. Did like it. Was celebrating, and umpires confer. Will be 1 behind. So 2 goals, 4 now to Wickham. Back outside 50, where Anderson is tackled. Receive a free kick. Sit inside 50. As far as Pacey. Pacey follows up that scrubbing ball. Barwick fighting, is tackled immediately. High up and under ball. Falls to Webster. Webster puts it into a tough spot. And great mark here by Limbrick. So Jacinta Limbrick aiming for her second goal of this contest. And kicks it. Kicked 1 in the first term and now has 1 in the third. A 56-point lead. Wobbly punt, but it just got over the outstretched hands of the defenders on the line. It's been all Clarence in the first 3.5 minutes of this third term. Reed taps it up in the air. Webster follows it up. The tackle on Toto. Secondary stoppage. Reed and the umpire share a laugh. Reed again, taps it over the top, follows up her own work, kicks it inside 50. This is some performance here by Reed, and she picks out Limbrick again, who cops one in the back of the neck and is a bit shaken. Now able to get to her feet and take her kick, checking on her opponent as well in Jamie Lee Bird. It's extremely good sportsmanship. We love to see that. So Jacinta Limbrick with another fantastic feed from Ava Reid. Reid, clearly the best player on the ground for mine in this contest with... She's calling for it short and completely unguarded, but Limbrick says, no, I'm going to do it myself, and does. Jacinta Limbrick now with 3 goals to her name, a game high. We're out to a 62-point lead. This quarter, it's all started from Ava Reid, who's kicked a goal herself and has really been instrumental in setting up 2 more. Great goal kicking there from Limbrick. 2 attempts of 30, 35 metres out. Reid, another tap. Direction of Oates. And now here's Whitehead. And that's cut off. It's an opportunity here for Glenorchy. Through Cannell. Back into the centre of the ground. Falls through hands. And here's Reid again. Skittles over the top. Lands with Zilke. Thank you to the Glenorchy social media team for confirming that Zilke's out there wearing the number 7. Clarence again. Another opportunity to go forward inside 50. Been really insatiable this quarter. It's been all one-way traffic. Tackle applied from Booth, but that's a hold. And an opportunity for Anderson to pick out a target inside 50. She moves it quickly, just pops it up, and locates a target. And that target is Whitehead. Whitehead looking for Reid. Actually goes further afield for Clark. Appleby did well. Glenorchy clear it outside 50. Well done by Whitehead. Follows up that work and saves it from going out of bounds on the full. And there's a stoppage in play here. The umpire. Can't quite see the central umpire or what's going on. There's some conjecture about what will happen next. Be a boundary throw-in. Ball in over the head of Reid, and instead Magpies able to clear a push, and there'll be a free kick to Toto. Player down though, struggling to get up. Needs a little bit of attention. Go out, trainer out to try and assist. Might be a bit of a spell here for Wagner. Shaken up in that marking contest. No, she's staying out there. And Toto has a chance to bring Glenorchy across halfway for a rare time this second half, but Anderson equal to that task. Centering ball, goes through the hands of Oates. Limbrick in there too. Socket off the ground by Archer. Here's Preshaw in the Reid direction. Now it falls to Pacey. Pacey shoots for goal and misses. So Zilke finds Cannell. Lights come on here at Ninja Stadium. Appleby. Now plucks out Schultz. Schultz looking to go more central and does really nicely, I add. So Glenorchy with an opportunity to go either way here. Straight up the guts, I don't mind it. Strong tackle from Appleby. Booth also applying a tackle. Great work here from Webster and Wagner combining. Zielke was in there. Yaron. An opportunity for Glenorchy through Barwick. Barwick goes inside 50. It is a 2-on-1. Clarence with the numbers through Edmonds. Clarence players decide to see it over the line. Booth, handball over the top, only so far as Hardy. Tried to clear that one. Booth just buzzing around there, trying to make things happen, and there'll be a free kick. Reward for effort. Booth just pops it up for a teammate, and it was a really nice kick there to Toto. So Toto with an opportunity to go back, have a think about it from about 30 metres out on an angle. The approach from Toto. Ball drop looked okay, drop punt looks okay, but it's to the right and one behind. Reed really wants it. 550. This will go over her head. Instead, she'll have to fight for it, but leaving it behind to Piamuhu. And Holika has the free kick. Holika, short one, smart one to Barwick. Just moving it with a bit of purpose here, Glenorchy. And that one was smothered really nicely by Murtagorod. Kick inside from Clark, only so far as Wickham. Wickham really wants a target. Put it high and long and see if Limbrick can run onto it, but instead the runner Booth runs onto it. Just a miss kick there. Almost cleaned up there by Limbrick. Off the ground. No good. Numbers with the Magpies. Falls to Bird. Bird puts it close to the boundary line and it falls out of bounds. Be a boundary throw in. 7 minutes to go in this third term. It is a 62-point lead to Clarence. Reed with Appleby. Reed to the back of the pack. Trying to find a teammate, but can't quite do so. Barwick's kick was only so far as Clarence players. Whitehead gets it, plays on, top of the square. Glenorchy defence equal to it. But that ball goes directly out of bounds. It's a miss kick, so it'll be a throw-in. It's in the direction of Barwick, but couldn't quite pick her out as a target. Appleby just takes it out of the ruck and hacks it towards the 50. Here's Pacey. Off to Anderson. Anderson top of the square. Reed fighting for it. Reed getting it, turning around. Snap! Misses. Ava Reed moves to 2 goals, 3 on the day. approach 5 minutes to go. This third quarter. Glenorchy gets it only so far as Webster, and Barwick provided a really strong tackle. Webster appealing for out of bounds on the full because it came off the shin of Yaron, but umpire says no, that is a throw-in. Be happy it's inside your 50. Throw-in happens. Front of the pack was Halika. Only so far as Limbrick. Bursting through the pack, Clarence trying to find a way through, but instead a throw is awarded against the Roos and against Mia Anderson. Glenorchy with an opportunity to clear. All the players went up, including Schultz. Here's Toto. Toto gets past one player, then another, then a high up and under kick. It's only so far as Wagner. He got crunched earlier and has come back and kept fighting. Wagner with a small chipping ball. Teammate was slung off the ball. Here's Anderson, who's been prolific in this third quarter, trying to spot Reed. Equal to the task, though, was Bird. Bird did well, but overran it. Reed's got it now. This is dangerous. Inboard. Clark trying to find a way inside, but only so far as Adams, who's tackled. And earning the free kick is Murgatroyd. He'll kick from about 15 metres out on an angle. So Murgatroyd approaches straight over the goal umpire's head, and that's a goal. So a 69-point margin. About 3 minutes to go in this third term. Clarence in full control and marching into finals. Moment healthy and in very good nick. Robertson to contest the ruck. This centre ball along with Appleby. By just making sure that 666 is being adhered to. This is taking a little bit of time off the clock, so we'll get going again. Good tap there from Robertson. Right down to Anderson. Anderson bumped hard. Following up that work is Preshaw, and there'll be a stoppage. Appleby. Tap down in the direction of Smith. Clarence able to clear it. Just to the 50. Barwick working on trying to regain possession. Does throw through Cannell. Zielke finds a teammate in Halika. Halika goes long down the line, but only so far as Wagner. Clarence are able to switch. Get good use from Clark. Clark. The short ball can't quite be marked by Preshaw. Falls to the back of the pack. There's been a free kick awarded. Go to Preshaw. Who handballs across to Ball. Ball inside 50. And there's a hold. And it will go the way of Murgatroyd, who kicked that last goal. Murgatroyd, about 40 metres out. Top of the square. And waiting with open arms is Limbrick. So Jacinta Limbrick with an opportunity to kick her fourth goal of the day. 15 metres out, directly in front. Here's the approach, the kick, and a goal. The fourth goal of the contest for Jacinta Limbrick. Clarence's 12th. Brick entered this contest with 28 goals. So now moves to 32 as the three-quarter time siren sounds. So it is a 75-point lead for Clarence, 12-12-84 to Glenorchy 1-3-9. Goal kickers Limbrick with 4, 2 to Reed and Wickham, singles to Oates, Murgatroyd and Ivory. For Glenorchy, 1 goal to Barwick. It was all Clarence that quarter. I'll be looking to consolidate a big win. But for now, we'll take our final break of the day and we'll bring you the last quarter of the game after this. Barwick. And now Reed. Reed goes around a defender. Steadies. And goals of this contest. And kicks it. Completely unguarded, but Limbrick says, no, I'm going to do it myself, and does. So Murgatroyd approaches, straight over the goal umpire's head. 10 metres out, directly in front. Here's the approach, the kick, and a goal. We ready ourselves for the last quarter of this last home and away game of the round 18 of the SFL Premier League women's season. Another result today with North Hobart on the bye, the last bye of the season. Kingborough defeated Lauderdale 88-56 to Lauderdale 1 straight goal 6. In this contest is a 75-point lead to Clarence, 12-12-84 to 1-3-9. So the last round of the home and away season for the men's division of the SFL Premier League. North Hobart 14-8-92 defeating Brighton 6-10-46. Clarence 18-14-122 defeating Glenorchy 7-7-49. And Lauderdale 20-18-138 defeating Kingborough 9-6-60. Ready ourselves for the last term. Jacinta Limbrick entered this game on 28 goals, in third position on the goal-kicking tally. She's now up to 32 as Appleby goes with a single fist and then a double hand tap down to Anderson. And here's Webster. Getting it out was Barwick. And over the head of Wagner. Wagner followed up her work. Now out to Anderson. Steadies. Pushed off the ball as she kicked. That's not holding the ball. That's a push. And Anderson kick it into the middle of the ground where Preshaw is waiting. Preshaw is released. Kicks it to the edge of the square. Combining there was Whitehead. Whitehead kicking into a dangerous position. Getting it out is Fine. Fine clearing. Back of the pack. Here's Anderson again following up her work. Kicks it inside 50 and spots Limbrick. Looking for a bag of 5. Instead decides to centre it, but only as far as Barwick. She does spill that mark though. Following up is Whitehead. Webster. And now Barwick for Glenorchy. Good work here by Reid. Reid steadies and misses to the near side. 2 goals for today to Ava Reid, who's been arguably Clarence's best player, especially with a 5-minute highlights package in the third term, which involved some great ruck work and then some great inside 50s. Fantastic goal. The ball goes through the hands of Whitehead. It's forced out of bounds, deep inside 50 for Clarence. Now at a 76-point margin. Back tap there by Murgatroyd. Instead, it's cleared by Yaron from Glenorchy. Leaves it to the outer side. It's only so far as Hardy. Hardy fighting for it with Mead. Hardy gets past Mead. Steadies and kicks it right to the paint of 50. Strong mark in the end to Pacey. Pacey sees Webster inboard, finds her. Webster wants to move it on quickly, but is forced to retreat. Spotting teammates. Getting across there was Booth, who did well. Falls to Murgatroyd. A snap to out of bounds, as close to the goal line as possible for Clarence. To point an exclamation point on what's been a very successful top of the table season for the Clarence team. Back tap from Murgatroyd. Over to Limbrick. Limbrick follows up with a soccer and a goal. That's 5. Limbrick has 5 and 33 for the season. Just a missed kick. And then a soccer that went under everyone. Extended the margin to 82 points in favour of the Kangaroos. Clarence get going through Anderson once again. Going inside 50. Following up well was Bird. Back in there is Ivory. And here's Zielke. puts it out of bounds on the full. So Oates will have an opportunity to drive Clarence forward. Oates goes inboard. Just over the top of outstretched hands. Finds Preshaw. Preshaw with the drop punt into the pocket. And the mark is taken by Wickham. So Wickham with the opportunity to kick from a very, very tough angle. Only about 20 metres out, but will need to go with the outside of the boot and hits the post. It's Caitlin Wickham. Zielke. Outside 50, the long ball. Archer is there. Also to Peamuhu. Now Barwick. And Webster. It's tackled hard. And a stoppage. Reed and Appleby fight to a draw in the ruck. Anderson. Up and under punt. A nice mark taken by Pacey. Falls to Limbrick. And now to Murgatroyd. Into the pocket. It's cleaned up here by Glenorchy, but into a dangerous spot. Fighting for it, he was Whitehead and over the line. Boundary throw in. Tap by Appleby. Front and centre. It was Pacey. It was tackled. Another tap by Appleby, but only so far as Preshaw, who was tackled and holding the ball. Opportunity here for Kay. Kay with the chipping ball to Appleby. He's just trying to work it along the boundary line. Barwick can't quite get the mark, but follows that up and puts it out of bounds on the full. No. Without Wagner, probably should have let that go over. She fumbled the mark. Therefore, it was touched, so it'll be a throw-in. Reed, double-handed tap to the back of the pack. Strong tackle applied to Cannell. And a free kick to Webster, holding the ball. Webster, great mark by Reed. So athletic, just goes directly around her opponent. Has a bounce, handballs, receives the handball, but flubs the second attempt. Bumps Barwick on her way through. Preshaw tackled. Oates there as well. Reed, the punch on Appleby. Appleby releasing Booth. Booth can't quite handle that one. Finally gets it into the hands of Cannell. Cannell with a huge kick around the body. Making Harper and Schultz work for it. Schultz has it. Blind handball over the head to Chappell. Can't quite handle that one. Edmonds is tackled. And there'll be a stoppage. Big punch over the top from Appleby. An inside 50 entry for Glenorchy. It's Wagner. Wagner to the wing. Oates can't control that, but Booth can definitely control it. Right to the mouth of 50. Schultz wheels around on the right. He's looking for Mead, but it went through Mead's hands. Strong tackle applied by Harper. Forced to stoppage. As we approach the halfway point of this last term. Appleby Punch over the top, but only so far as Webster. Tracking this down is Kay. Oates providing support for Clarence. Barwick tackled by 2. Ball up. The contest from Appleby. Cannell. It's in a dangerous spot, but a terrible bounce for Toto. Favoured Clarence, just as most of today has favoured Clarence. Contest provided between Clark and Bird. Clark did well. Gets it onto Whitehead, inside 50. And it's a mark by Fine. Fine to Zielke. Now finds Cannell. Hockey just working it across the wing. And inside 50. Barwick is waiting. She's the only goal kicker for Glenorchy so far today. Strong tackle applied. Here's Schultz. Kicks the goal. Stacey Schultz with the second goal of this contest for Glenorchy. So some consolation for the Magpies. Tap by Appleby. So far as Pacey, it's Preshaw. Tackle applied. Strong tackle there by Mead. She's earned herself a free kick. Nice mark here to Barwick. Booth. At the 50, goes into the pocket. And Wagner brings that up. Booth with a free kick here. Kicks it into the mouth of 50. Hardy can't quite control that one. Stacks on. A stoppage inside 50. Appleby over the top, but only so far as Oates. Oates, a little dribbling ball. Goes out of bounds. Ivory couldn't quite track that one down. It will be a free kick to Booth. Deliberate out of bounds. Booth. Back to Zielke, but just missed the target. Zielke with some work to do, but did it really well. Trying to find Mead, goes through her hands, instead falls to Limbrick, who's doing some work in the back line. Oates, looking for Robertson. Overshoots the target, here's Zielke again. And Mead again. And Oates again and Webster. Booth, and she's done it all day, strong at the ball. Quite reel that one in. Robertson gets it out to Preshaw. And Reed, who's been the best player on the ground today. Over the top for a running Preshaw to get on the end of another one. Murgatroyd in there, but can't quite get her hands on it. And a clearing ball. Zielke combining with Appleby, who's providing the shepherd. It's a 3-on-1 though. Not much that can be done there. Webster did well. Screw ball around the corner. Cannell. Driving Glenorchy forward, but only so far as Hardy. Hardy. Just before 50. Limbrick has it. Limbrick looking to put it in the dangerous spot, but it put it directly in Barwick's breadbasket. Preshaw drops it too short. And it's chopped off. Cleared by the Magpies. But only so far as Murgatroyd. Murgatroyd drives it inside 50. Reed is there dangerously. Bird does well. Spills to the back of the pack. Glenorchy clear once again, only so far as Pacey. Pacey out to Anderson. Anderson to Preshaw and back to Anderson. The midfielders combined. Preshaw looking for a target. Now finding Clark. Clark to the top of the square. Just goes through the outstretched hands of Wickham. And it's one behind. Glenorchy clear it. Done well. To really restrict Clarence to just the one goal this quarter, as they have done. Murgatroyd kicks it, but earns herself a 50-metre penalty. And will have the opportunity to kick from about 15 metres out, but directly in front. So just as Murgatroyd kicks a goal, the second of the contest, but as I was saying, Glenorchy had done well to keep it to just one goal apiece in this last quarter. They concede a second. An 84-point margin. We tick down to 3 minutes to go. All up. Schultz tracks it down. And Mead kicks it inside 50 for Glenorchy. Goes over everyone's heads. Burns is in there. Tackle applied. Ball up. Down the direction of Oates. Tackle applied again. This time to Hardy. Decisive punch from Murgatroyd, back of the pack. Anderson. Looking up to the wing, in the direction of Reed. He's pushed over it. Well done there by Adams to win that contest with how Reed's been playing today. Anderson, insatiable appetite for the footy in this one. Tackle applied by Reed and another stoppage. Might take you a while to call for the ball, but players appealing for several free kicks there, but none eventuated. Another stoppage. Tapped down by Robertson. A ball controlled by Preshaw, but she's tackled. Got about a minute to go in this contest. Looking ahead to the finals next week. Kingborough has secured a top 2 spot with their victory today, and with their superior percentage to North Hobart, Clarence will move into first position with their victory today. So they will host Kingborough next week in the qualifying final. The other game will be an elimination final between North Hobart and Glenorchy. Unless the percentage between Glenorchy and Lauderdale changes to the point where Lauderdale overtake them. There's a 2% difference, and Glenorchy will, of course, lose percentage in this one, so there's every chance Lauderdale may end up in 4th position and going to North Hobart Oval next week for that qualifying final, for that elimination final. Glenorchy fighting for the ball in the dying stages of this contest. For Clarence, they'll face a Kingborough side that had a 74-point lead today in their contest. As the mark is taken in the dying seconds by Wickham, who's kicked 2 goals, 5 today, and has the opportunity to kick her 3rd goal. Last time Kingborough played Clarence, Kingborough won 51-9 down at the Twin Ovals. Wickham just touched, and that will be her 6th behind for this contest. And an 85-point victory to Clarence, who march on to the qualifying final where they will host a contest with Kingborough in what proves to be a very exciting game indeed. Kingborough has beaten Clarence the last 2 times the teams have played. Very interesting to see if Clarence can make their way to a grand final berth with a victory next week in the qualifying final. In this one, though, an 85-point victory to Clarence. Goal kickers, before I let you go for the evening, 5 goals to Limbrick, 2 to Murgatroyd and Wickham, singles to, and Reed, singles to Oates, Clark and Ivory. For Glenorchy, 1 to Barwick in the first half and 1 to Schultz in the second half. Best players for Clarence: Ava Reed for mine, clear best on ground. Mia Anderson was very, very busy. Caitlin Wickham was dangerous. Jacinta Limbrick, you have to mention her with her 5 goals. And Heidi Preshaw also with a strong contest. For Glenorchy, Brianna Barwick was very brave throughout, as was Ariel Cannell throughout the contest as well. So an 85-point victory for Clarence as we wrap up the home and away season for the SFL Women's Premier League. I'm Adam Webster. Thanks so much for joining me this evening, and we will see you in the finals.